Coming from the true space, we ain't entertaining neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you say. Found the universal coochie, planting seeds and birds fruit. Now I'm really looking juicy. Welcome to the true space. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the true space. Welcome to the true space. Yeah, bitch, welcome to the true space.
Welcome to the True Space. I'm your astrologer Open Book, and let's break down this Scorpio New Moon and the energies that we are going to be being hit by. So with this Scorpio New Moon, it's kind of going to be a crazy one too, since we're experiencing a T-square with Uranus being opposite to the Moon and Sun in Scorpio, and Saturn being there in Aquarius. We're having a fixed sign T-square, a fixed sign battle, kind of making it way more volatile, way more frustrating, and providing that learning experience, or really testing how much you want to be able to plant good seeds in this area, how much you want to rectify this type of energy in your life within the new moon. And it's going to make it way more easier for you to get into the negative side of those energies because of the frustration. When there is not ease of flow, it's hard to start good habits. You know, most habits start when things are flowing nicely, or when an opportunity is presented. Um, but a frustration is present now. But don't get it twisted, because diamonds are built under pressure. So if even through these squares you still manage to plant good seeds, even if through these squares you still manage to have a positive outlook on the energy, and take active steps to bring more beneficial outcomes into your life, where you're looking at the energy that is being hit with, and or that you're being hit with, or you're looking at that scorpion energy and what you want to transmute and give death to. um if you're really going through these frustrations, these squares, and you still manage to get in, it'll be almost automatic, or you'll see these things start to fade out your life, and not even just fade out your life like they disappear, but their influence that they had on you, the feeling of vulnerability that they gave you, that's gone, and now you're able to feel secure because you had went over the hurdle, you had experienced the frustration, and yet you're still honest to yourself, you still kept true to your desires and how you felt. You were emotionally stable if you're on the right side of the energy. And then that's going to give you all the power and confidence that you need for you to continue to transmute the negative energy within your life, and turn it into something positive, utilizing your desires and not being whipped and used by them. But yeah, so that's the Scorpio new moon. New desires, new deep connections, new ways of transmuting your emotions. These are the energies that you will be getting hit with if you're on the positive side of the energy. But it can also be on that flip side, and um introduce you to new bad habits, new indulgences, new insecurities, and new grudges. See, with the frustration of the squares going on, it would be easy for you to catch feelings and really hold on to certain feelings, especially since we're talking about Uranus and Saturn, the slow moving planets. These are aspects. So with the square and the frustration is things that have been there for a while. It's not a new instance, or at least the environment that give way for the energy to be there is nothing new. It's something that you have been dealing with. Now it's coming around, though, with the sun bringing our awareness back onto these things, and really directing our mind into transmuting things and getting us to really look behind closed doors. We have been kind of lost in the sauce. Not even just lost in the sauce, but especially after going through Libra season, we have been presented a lot of things on the surface. Not even just Libra season, Leo season, Virgo season, and Libra season. With Leo, we expressed a whole lot. A whole lot was shown. A whole lot of facts, receipts were shown in Virgo season, and then a whole lot of promises and shit was made. A whole lot of fluff was talked during Libra season. So we're kind of talking about things that and Virgo is not necessarily too much on the or they understand that depth energy, or they're not just too surface level, but the material that they're dealing with is definitely is um regarding with the information, whether it's certain type of information. Maybe they're not necessarily being given the information, but it's information that's on the surface that's for you to grab, and it's just them that's peeping it. With the Scorpio energy, you are going behind closed doors to the shit that nobody wants you to see, to the shit that people are actively hiding. So it's more of like this echolocator type deal, because we're talking about an energetic realm. We're talking about water, how we connect with one another. Water connects us all. 70% water. I'm damn near motherfucking water. If I'm 70% water, the fuck else am the fuck am I? Same thing with all people. And what is the earth? They try and kick that shit talking about water came after and all of that shit. Au contraire, earth comes out of water. But that's a whole different video and shit. Niggas could get talking about trying to call that pseudo and all of that, and how that's not real. But that's the realest shit you ever heard on in terms of the relationship between water and earth, and how these land masses actually got here. Why would you think that the what's more out of what is more of came after? That just doesn't even make sense. Using common sense, using the logic that most people use, that doesn't make sense to me. Damn near water. Where did the water come from? Water came first. And so when you look at a cell and you see a cell is 90% water, makes motherfucking sense. And I'm made out of cell. Makes motherfucking sense, doesn't it? Should be more water then. You need that's what I mean. But that type of energy. But yeah, so talking about that, because that water aspect is how we all kind of connect. So Scorpios being able to go into those depths, being able to go into the depths of those energetic realms, normally it's with them, but it doesn't matter. And this applies for a lot of things. When you understand energy within itself, you come to understand you in a real, genuine, honest way, and you understand yourself through and through, you want to understand every other human being that has ever lived, because you're only ever playing with the same materials that other people have. And then what you make the argument, oh, people are in different environments and shit like that, so they come out different. Well, then nigga, put yourself in different environments. Obviously there's a limit to nature is our limit, and physical reality, um at least within this life, or with these bodies and shit like that. But you can really go far, especially when you're talking about that energetic realm where we all exist in. So Scorpio's really good at going deep into the things that haven't had light brought to them before. Going deep into the things that may have been forgotten, or things that are deep seated, deep rooted, or subconscious. Or at least we're making the work and bringing things to the surface for that subconscious work, which probably starts dealing with more so of the Pisces energy, where you go, where you experience it. But how you find the subconscious is through Scorpio. That's how you get deep into finding what is behind. And once you get to that state, now you understand what is pulling your strings. This is the type of shit that gets you out of bed. Scorpio's the type of energy that gets you out of bed and makes you go and do some shit. Your desires, the things that you want, indulgences. That's why it's so often associated with sex, because that's so often what people want and desire. It rules that area. But I don't know if you ever peeped it, but when you have a desire or a feeling like that, don't you ever feel it down there? Depending on what it is. Sometimes you feel it in your gut, but sometimes you feel it down there too. And it doesn't even have to be about sex. It could just be something that you're really passionate about, something that you really want, a real desire. You're using the same energy. It's the same area. That's all Scorpion. So that's why you kind of have to broaden your mind on what sex is, because you be fucking a lot. Uh, if we're talking about energetic exchanges, you know what I mean? On the whole scope of sex. And if you are fucking a lot, you ain't really even fucking. If we talking about the entire scope of sex and what that energy means, and what that contains in our potential as humans, with our sexual powers, that has not been tapped into yet. And that's a whole nother video. But that has not, definitely not been tapped into yet. But yeah, with this new moon in Scorpio, um, the moon, especially with the new moon, um, the moon is what you manifest in your life, or it's kind of that magnetism energy, just like how it's able to pull the water. It has a relationship with water. This is all kind of like electric magnetism type relationships that are going on. But that's how it works. That's kind of how love works. I'm on that train of thought, where I'm starting to think magnetism is related, or maybe a physical form or a force of love. Or when you're talking about ancient texts and they're talking about love, the universe run by love, I think they're talking about magnetism and attraction, being able to bring things into unison. And then electricity may be separation, especially to get electricity, you have to separate electrons and shit like that. And then it may be not even necessarily hate, but following on that type of line of energy, that electricity may be more demonic, or may be more dense, may be more logical and straightforward. Not saying that it's any uh, that it's less, or that it's a bad thing, but it just works in tandem like that, or they kind of show their true colors like that. So when you're talking about manifestation, you're kind of talking about magnetism and what you're able to draw towards you, and that's all about the moon. If you want to learn how to manifest, look at the moon and follow the moon. That's what we're talking, and that's why we're breaking down this new moon energy, so you can best manifest the best energy within your life. That's an astrologer's job. But yeah, so the moon is what we manifest and what we are bringing to us. How we are emotionally responding to the world, but that dictates, what you're bringing into you. So this is the perfect time to ask Scorpio what you want from it. Scorpio energy, your hidden desires. What do you really genuinely want? Bring that to the surface. Ask the universe right now. Get into that state of being of what it feels like. Not what it feels like to want that shit, because that's not what you manifest. More wanting. Get into the state of being of what it feels like to actually have that thing. To be within that state of being. To act out that desire. Get into that type of state of being, and that's what you'll end up manifesting. What do you want to deeply connect to? What connection do you want to establish deeper, whether it be a person, place, or thing? What do you want energy? Do you want to be able to transmute into a more positive, transmute negative energy in a specific area and turn it into something positive? What secrets do you want to know? And shit like that. This is what you would be manifesting, or this is where the moon is at. So really ask Scorpio what you want from it. Make that known, and don't be shy and don't be vulnerable. What do you want? Ask for that shit, or else you will not get it. And that's the energy it should be, and that's how Scorpio should come, and that's how it is. But you really put your intention towards giving death to the mentalities that are not pure to you. If the mentality acts toxic in your water, in your emotions, in your emotional state of being, then you are in need of a detox, and that's what Scorpio is talking about. Scorpio's ruling, that lower part, that sexual organs, area, but also like your kind of butt type of area. You know, the cleansing and getting rid of things out of your body, getting rid of the shit, literally getting rid of the shit. That's what Scorpio season is all about. Getting rid of the shit, whether it be within your own mentality, and you're gonna have to be honest about that. Whether you have shit in your mind, um, whenever you have all of these shitty ass emotions, whether there's shit toilet water mixed up within your water. You have to be honest about that and not try and hide those things because that's going to be exposed. Or when we're in Scorpio season, you're trying to hide your vulnerabilities and put up defenses. It's going to be exposed, and then what? You may bust out the stinger and end up poisoning something and making the situation sour, destroying a relationship, destroying a situation, all in the attempts to protect your internal place. So don't get into that energy. Scorpio moons or Scorpios know what I'm talking about, but since we're all experiencing this energy, this is things that we all have to look out towards. You ain't really even got to do shit else but allow yourself to admit your true desires and what you genuinely want to connect to and what is genuinely preventing you from doing that, what you are scared of and your vulnerabilities. um, Being honest with your about yourself about all of these things is going to do the work for you. You admitting these things, you bring these things into the surface, you putting that in your mouth, switch it around, seeing how that shit tastes. You're gonna see the mule out on a platter in front of you before you know it. By doing those things, that's literally the groundwork. That's the pre-workout. Before you go into the gym and type shit to give you the energy to actually go and get those things done. Because once you know what you want and you're kind of setting your intentions this way and you create that space, you say and mentally think and focus on that you want to get rid of these specific mentalities because you feel that they are limiting you and aren't true to your pure version of yourself, to your pure desires and wants. Now, when you're still holding on to that shit, you feel silly. Now it's different. Automatically, it's different than what it was before because you put that attention out there. You can't do it the same way. You have brought awareness to that area. Not saying that it's not able to push through that, but I'm just showing you your power and how you're able to change those things. And whether you fall back in, once you know what you want and you set that intention, now, and remember, the universe works in energy. It doesn't know what you said. It doesn't know what you said. The universe doesn't understand English. You speak in some devil language for all the universe knows. And it reads your energetic state of being and how what frequency and vibration that you are expressing and articulating. So that's what you have to push out. And when you're doing these with your intention, the universe is like, oh, okay, this is what the person wants. This is what they're trying to do. Okay, I understand. Since they're putting that themselves in that state of being, they're being honest. Oh, this is their vulnerabilities and stuff like that. This is the area they need to improve. All right, I'm gonna throw this person in. All right, I'm gonna throw this situation and circumstance to help these niggas out, to help them learn the lessons and make the adjustments that they need to make. Universe ain't gonna ever give you God in the universe, whatever you wanna go by, ain't gonna give you nothing that you can't handle. And that's for sure. So yeah, it's all about the state of being that you are in, and that's how you communicate with the government. You have to, with the universe. You have to show it how you feel, and it's funny because the moon falls in Scorpio, so showing it how you feel may be it feels weird, it feels vulnerable, it feels like you are exposed and out in the open when you are showing how you feel on that level. But you have to let that feeling go. Now that awareness may that feeling may be overwhelming and you may want to run from it. But if you hold out, you really realize that that is psychic power. That is you unlocking your psychic power, and that you are receiving information right now. And this is how your body communicates with you. Really listen to your emotions. They act as that esoteric GPS to let you know what it is that you are doing, what's within your subconscious. And people always be like, I'm sad, and don't know why you're sad. Like, what do you mean you don't know why you're sad? You need to bring attention to these places. You need to start looking behind closed doors. You need to start asking yourself what are your real desires and what do you really want, and what is preventing, and your what mentalities you're holding on to that is preventing you from stepping into that state of being. So yeah, let's see these aspects, because I was talking about that T-square, which is fucking crazy, because I really do think things are going to change, or a lot of things are going to be brought to the light. A lot of dark, nasty things are going to be brought to the light. That's how everybody thinks when the world gets better, when all of these countries get better and all of that shit. People are really holding on to this utopia type ideal. Who am I to say that shit ain't gonna happen? Y'all niggas show me. Show me. I fucking know I ain't lived through the future yet. Y'all niggas show me. But all I'm saying is that for it to even get to that point, you're gonna have to see all the shit, all the backed up, all the dirty ass colon of this world, all the shit that it's been holding up, just waiting to unload, just waiting to pass off, because we weren't giving it enough attention, because we weren't trying to go into detox mode, because we weren't trying to go within the depths to see what's behind the scenes and how things actually really work. Because we had played that off, because we had labeled Scorpio the motherfucking villain. Um, that's We are unaware of that type of energy. Uh, yeah. So yeah, with these aspects, now we have so we have to really be working with the Scorpio energy. We be throwing mad shade on Scorpio. I had an analogy that I had used the other day, talking about that character that you think is the villain, think that is an evil character, but then after upon learning the backstory and their past and their true desires, you start realizing that that was the realest nigga in the whole movie, and that the whole time that this nigga was on the whole shit, and you thought they was the villain. You thought they was on some other shit, or that they was on the other team. That's Scorpio. That's Scorpio. Um, for real. Because you didn't know the backstory, because you didn't know the depths, and then yeah, the character didn't say anything. The character didn't make it known. So on a level, depending on what situation it is and how things are playing out, one can be the other people's fault for not wanting to go into the depths to see what was behind closed doors and what was the actual desires that was motivating the character. Um, and then it could also be the Scorpio's part for the lack of, or that villain's part for the lack of communication, for the lack of them letting it being known what energy state of being that they were in, what desires that they had, and why they were going about the things that they were going about. So it's a double-edged sword, but that definitely does play an aspect. That's the dynamic we got going on. And yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about, yeah, the detox that has to go into the world. For that utopia shit to ever really come about, a lot of nasty, dirty, evil shit's gonna have to come to the surface that we're gonna have to purge. We're gonna have to it's like the worst hangover you'll ever experience in your motherfucking life. But that utopia being represented by sobriety in this case, you're gonna have to go through the hangover to you're gonna have to go through the withdrawal to be sober, and that's going to be fucking brutal. When these things come to light, what has been in the dark, the motivating factors of the people who rule the world, and the in the world in itself, because we have all of these energies and aspects. You have the 12 zodiacs within you, and then you have those 12 zodiacs influences, on the outside and shit like that. And those mirrors or reflections being shown on you. So it's kind of like you experience an internal on a micro level within your personal life, within your body and your personal surroundings, and then on a macro level on Earth as a whole scale. But Scorpio helps us remember about that shit, and Scorpio's the one to hold your fucking hair back, be like, I told you. Scorpio's the person that's going to be there when times are rough and be able to handle things and deal with this energy. They already knew all of these things were going behind closed doors, or that they were already prepared, or had similar energies where it may be a shock value, whereas you may stumble upon secrets, or really have that hard hump getting over certain vulnerabilities and insecurities that you would have. Scorpio, give death to it. Give death to it, you know. Giving death to something, Scorpio knows how to do that shit. And it's funny. So with this tier square energy, um, Uranus is in Taurus opposite the moon in Scorpio and the sun in Scorpio right now. So with Uranus in Taurus, that energy is causing change or rebellion on stability and our self-worth and what's seen as practical. So the ground that we hold on, how we understand value, and what money is going through a complete change, and people are rebelling against it. This is represented between Bitcoin, a new innovation, Uranus, a new change and push forward into the future that is trying to combine everybody behind some type of idea or logic. Your Uranus energy, and it's in Taurus. So we're dealing with the physical world. So now we're dealing with practicality. So now we're dealing with ends or tools that we have that we use to obtain practicality, and things that we need in order to feel secure. So the things that we need in order to feel secure and stability and stable in a physical way is going through a change and rebellion, and you're going to have to go with the change and rebel against something for you to maintain this stability. But for you to but this is where the opposition comes into, because you're supposed to be focusing on your mental world, or at least the moon and sun are calling you to go within the depths of your emotional world. But Uranus is asking you to change, rebel, and repose the physical world and wants, the things that you have. It's asking you to change, rebel against the things that you have, and while the sun and the moon is asking you, what do you want? What do you desire? And it's not like they have to play against each other. They're actually secretly working with each other. Opposites are actually secret soulmates. They're actually the perfect match for each other. They're actually twins of each other. They're actually the same person, but it's just the different instances. It's the front side, back side type deal. So you really only have 6 signs if you're looking at it with that aspect, with dual natures. And that's a realist perspective. Now you start over understanding astrology when you start looking at things like that. But because then you start separating shit. You stop separating, and then you start unifying, and that's how you get more understanding. But yeah, with that opposition, it's bringing awareness. So you having to change a rebel or oppose, your stability being or the ground that you're on, you're not knowing what value is, the world at large not knowing what value is, or what value is, going through that transformation, and you having to rebel against that in order to bring new circumstances in yourself, is helping you see what you desire. It's helping you see and know what it is that you want, and it's helping you see and know the areas where you feel emotionally vulnerable. And when there's imbalance in these areas, you're not going to be able to. So if you're feeling as flunked out in that Scorpio energy and you're feeling vulnerable, exposed, in the Taurus energy, you're not going to put out enough. You're not going to understand value. You're not going to receive and stability and security on that level because you're kind of messed out. So your monetary stability and your emotional stability kind of play hand in hand, aka your emotions going to be all over the place when you're worrying about the bills and stuff like that. But say you're worrying about your money is going to be all over the place if you are holding on to desires and you're trying to getting lost in your desires, trying to get that quick, not even necessarily have to be a quick fix, because ain't shit quick about Scorpio, or not that ain't shit quick, but Stinger's real quick, but within that nature, it's very slow moving or very retaining. It's fixed water. So yeah, the opposition is going to bring awareness on what's preventing you from feeling self-worth, or for you understanding and really utilizing your value, what you have to give depth to in order for you to give value. So being innovative in the way that you are going about this Taurus energy, how you obtain stability, and how you work and produce within your life. Be on your toes and ready to change that stuff and innovate that stuff and be unique, not being too stuck and fixated within that area, because it's going to help you have the emotional security or the power for you to give depth to these things. Again, give you the ground um, and stability that you have to cut out these mentalities, to cut out, aka say say embodying that energy. You change repel how you do stability and shit. Maybe that be opening a new account or going into investing into different things. And maybe you can't go and buy that pack of cigarettes. You can't go and buy that thing that you went and indulged in, or you can't go and put gas in your car to go into that place so that you could do that thing and whatever it manifests in. But it's that type of energy that we're going to be aware of, and wherever it's playing it out in your life is where you're going to see it. And then the square with Saturn's coming in, where it's providing Saturn. We're talking about structure, foundations, boundaries, and limitations. In Aquarius, the collective mind. So it's about structure and foundation and how we think and communicate socially. So socially, there's a whole structure and foundation in how we're supposed to think and communicate. On a positive level, this is giving us ground to stand on for us to think and communicate and come up with the new ideas and for things to really get expressed. But it's in such a narrow confinements, or what in only the structure allows. So then when it gets into that aspect and the negative aspect, it's limiting and putting boundaries on how you can think and communicate, and as on a social level, and what you're able to share with people and what you're able to know. They This plays with the physical reality right now, and what's practical, and what is real, and what is gonna get supported, or what has authority behind it right now. So building structure and practicality around how we all think and communicate is causing frustration with us paying attention to our desires. Because how are you supposed to communicate fluently, think and communicate um, when you can't express your desires, when you feel vulnerable expressing your desires, or when you don't feel stable enough, when that Scorpio energy is all flunked out. So those boundary and limitations are going to create that learning experience where you're going to have to see how to either break out of that structure, or how to navigate within that structure in an authentic way where you are being true to your deepest desires. And that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So to plant good seeds within this time It's going to be hard, or at least you're going to find resistance, or things to call you to go back into these new desires, things to call you that's going to make you hold on a grudge, or a negative emotion, that you may have to, that you're going to hold on to, a new insecurity that's making you feel open and exposed. Um, so be careful with those squares, and know that if you were to put in the extra mile, and know that you may experience, or it may be uncomfortable, or you may be frustrated right now, but push it in just a little bit longer, or bear with that energy just a little bit longer, and you will find yourself on the more positive side of that energy. You will find yourself with boatloads more of manifestation power and ability than if you had just stayed put, or had allowed yourself to be outweighed, or didn't stand up to the challenge and be true to your desires and how you authentically want to how you authentically feel, um the feelings and emotions that you hold on to, and and what you hold deep within yourself. So yeah, now we're going through the houses, talking about this new moon and what house it would be in. It's going to talk about what area of life this is playing out for you. So to get into that specific nitty gritty, to see where all of this energy, all this Scorpio new moon energy, what area of life that is playing out in, we'll go through that. So with the first house, if you have the Scorpio new moon going through your first house, then you're getting new desires and yeah, new desires and new deep connections on your personality, and how you present yourself into the world. Maybe it's a desire to present yourself in a new way, a desire for you to have a different image, a desire for you to start something, or let something be your name or what you're known for. You want to be known for something, or you want to have something close to you. You want this to be who you are. You have a desire for something to be like that. This is going to be playing out within your personal life. So it's going to be in how people are seeing you and how you are presenting yourself to other people. This is the area where your desires are going to take fold in, and it's the area of where you need to transmute the energy or any negative energy into positive energy. So it may make you get into more selfish energy. Not necessarily selfish, because I even hate that word, because there's nothing wrong with being selfish or with thinking about yourself. That's the only goddamn thing you need to be motherfucking doing. Or that's the best thing that you can be doing. Thinking about yourself, but then not separating other people when it comes to that. But that's a whole nother type of thing that you have to get into. But definitely with the new moon going on in the first house, it's a new way of seeing yourself, a new way of transmuting the energy of how people receive you, or how you take things personally, or what you are personally interested into. You may want to transform what you're personally interested in. Go through a whole identity transformation. Basically, you may find that energy being hitting you, or wanting to transmute certain things about your identity and how you're perceived and stuff like that. Don't allow it to new insecurities to come up, or for you to start being more insecure based on these new desires that you have. Be more insecure on expressing certain aspect of yourself. Don't let it be like that. Allow those vulnerabilities to sit and understand where they are coming from, because that's the only way you're going to get the awareness to bring that emotional stability that you crave. If you turn away from that, you're gonna bring more darkness, and you're going against the universe. The sun's literally in Scorpio. It's literally shining light to this deep place. And if you're trying to hide it, now you're going against the flow of the universe, of what is going on now. So definitely don't be in that energy. And you would have Uranus within your seventh house. So the stability and practicality within your relationships, and understanding the value of your relationships, and your self-worth within your relationships is going through a complete change. Is really changing and is volatile. So you're experiencing a lot of um, different ways people are coming in and treating you or coming at you, and you're gonna have to come up with new ways and innovate on how you deal with that energy, which is what may cause the friction, or and how this new desire and how you want to be received. So I say to resolve, and then but yeah, I say to resolve that energy, um, you have to understanding your self worth, um, and that how people, your interactions with people and how they respond to you and how they show you is actually giving you the juice and keys on how you want to present yourself, how you want people to treat you, and how you want all of these. So it's going to be giving you that sauce. So the changes that is going on with your relationship is only going to um, shed more light on to who you are as an individual, and what your identity is, and what you need to do to give death to the mentalities that aren't serving you, and how to transmute negative energy. And that's what this new moon is going to be like, where area of life is going to be playing out in. If you have the moon going through your first house, if you have the moon going through your second house, then you're getting new desires for new desires for certain possessions, for money, a new drive to obtain stability in your life, a new drive to get something, something that has probably caught your eye. It's something that's tangible within this world, because we're talking about this second house, or something that you value. It's a value that you really desire, that it is trying, that you want to be expressed, or that you want to step into, that you want to see more of. Yeah. You want to to deeply connect in a physical way. You want to transmute the energy of the things that you have, and turn the possessions that you have that represent negative things and negative states of beings, and turning them and making them look positive, or getting new things that represent that positive thing. So it's maybe even losing and cleansing old items that you had that represents negative aspects, or represents states of beings that you don't want to be in, represents negative mentalities that you want to give death to. Get rid of that item, get rid of that thing, and it'll really help you move towards that direction. But yeah, it's going to be hitting you in your second house. So we're talking about financial matters. You may have a new desire for a new job, or a new desire for a new goal, of something that you want to buy, or something that you want to bring into your possession. And then you have Uranus in your eighth house. So the stability of your um, secrets, and the stability of what you have behind, or your desires, or your real intentions, is going through change, or at least you have to kind of show your desires, or there are certain things that you need to have, or certain actions that need to have, or certain things that you need to receive for you to be feel emotionally stable. But these things are going through a change, and the way that you obtain this emotional stability is going through a new change. It's going through a different thing. The things that you had valued and had represented, energetic states of beings before have gone through a change, and the world is kind of changing. So what things represent are change is changing too, and you may have to rebel and oppose against these things. Um, but so yeah, with that dynamic, or how to rectify that dynamic, like what I was saying, get rid of the things that represent negative states of being, or stop doing the actions, or stop receiving things that are preventing, or that are directly related to those mentalities that you're trying to give up, or that is directly related to those physical things that represent your vulnerabilities and insecurities, really allowing yourself to rise above these things, which is going to be a difficulty because Scorpio being in the second house is not comfortable, or Taurus being in the eighth house, it's not within itself. So you are kind of getting a double whammy in terms of this opposition energy. So what is only going to bring you more awareness of the things within your life, the physical things, and the actions that you're doing, the way that you work, and the things that you are producing, and the way you look at your self-worth, and the way you dub your self-worth. You're going to be mad aware of these things, and start planting those seeds for you to have better items that represent you, that represent your stated beings, for you to not have things that represent your grudges, your insecurities, to have things that surround you that represent these higher um, aspects. Um, yeah, with Scorpio New Moon in the second house, that's kind of what you would be going on. If you have this new moon going on through your third house, then this is a new desire for surroundings, wanting to deeply connect with your surroundings in a different way. And now this is your siblings and your family, your siblings and your friends, your close friends, things that aren't too really far and that you communicate with on a daily basis. This is your third house. So you're trying to deepen these connections. Um, Deepen the connections that you have with your surroundings, and transmute the negative emotions and feelings that are going on with your surroundings, and actually seeing the behind the scenes of your surroundings, and why the things that are around you, why the friends that are your friends are your friends. This is the energy that this new moon is starting to float within you, or starting to hit you with the new moon going on in your third house. And the mentalities that you would be trying to give death to is shown in your surroundings. It's shown in the way you go on hang out with your friends, and how you talk to your friends, and the things that you keep around you, and the thoughts that immediately come to you, and how you communicate. The words that you say are very indicative to your emotional state of being, whether they not necessarily always a direct representation of the words um, that you are saying, but how you are saying them, or how people pick up on them. But even if you are rocking people to sleep and trying to tell or telling them lies and stuff like that, you chose those specific words, or those specific words came out your mouth for a reason. For a reason. And this is what you're becoming aware of, and what you're trying to transmute and bring better energy to. How you communicate, trying to get rid of the toxic ways that you talk, and the toxic things within your surroundings. This is what this new moon is going to show you. Or it can create new things in your surroundings, new indulgences, new desires that turn into bad habits, that are with new friends, and new ways of you communicating and talking, that put you into a further growth, that cause you to get grudges or have more energy that you hold on to, and get stuck and fixated on. So definitely be careful of that. You have Uranus in your ninth house, so it's changing the way of attaining stability in your experiences. So shaking up the value of your experiences. So now you don't know which experiences that you need to go through, which experiences that you should value over one another. Which what real wisdom is. These things are changing and rebelling and reposing. So the things of value that you had wisdom and knowledge of before may not be the same anymore, and the experiences that you had that had value may not be a good experience anymore. AKA, a good example of that would be fucking school. A fucking job that you go to school for, and then once you go onto the field, that job don't exist anymore, and all of that. That it's that type of energy. So the value of your experience, of those experiences has changed, and that's going to affect how you deeply connect with your friends, and how you communicate, and the thoughts that travel through your mind. So the way to rectify this energy would be to really being honest, or to be really being cutthroat into what you allow into your surroundings, and that is going to dictate what type of experiences that you are going through. Don't be a stickler, or staying stuck on those specific experiences, or stay stuck on certain wisdom that you had gained. Jupiter and that expansion energy. We've been talking about the ninth house, Sagittarius, but that expansive energy wants to broaden. It wants to expand things. So don't let that put it in a cage, because then it will only expand to that amount, and that's kind of what Taurus kind of may be, because it's fixated on the earth or the practicality. So don't let it stay um within a cage. Let what can be practical, and the knowledge and wisdom and that you gain, and the experiences that you went through, and how that can manifest into practicality, really leave that open. Really leave that broad, because then you're gonna find yourself with way more options than you had seen before. You are gonna see yourself with way more control than you had previously thought that you had seen before. So yeah, that's if you have the moon going through your third house. If you have the moon going through your fourth house, then the new desires, the new deep connections that you're trying to make, and the new way of transmuting emotions going to take place within the family, within the home. Your ways of having establishing comfortability with your life, and your private life, the things that you keep private and that are to you. So you're going to deeply connect with your family on another level, or the desire to deeply connect with your family, to deeply connect with your home life. And it's not even just necessarily your family, but it could even just be your home within itself, and that space that you have to yourself, that break from the public, the private world, or the public main stage that you have, really transmuting the energy within there. And if you're home, or if you don't have a quiet space, or if you don't have a private space, or you don't feel open enough to make that the space that you're in private, for you to get comfortable within that space, if there's a lack of comfortability, then you're gonna have to find ways to transmute that energy and become comfortable with it. And that's not necessarily saying forcing yourself to be comfortable with something that you're not comfortable. Remember, your emotions are your esoteric GPS, letting you know what is going on, and how you and how what you're willing to put up with, and what you're not willing to put up with, what you want and what you don't want. But with the fourth house, um, you're changing and transmuting how you look at comfortability, and trying to be comfortable with changes in comfortability, being comfortable with change. And that's what you're trying to deeply connect with on that level. Your home life, making sure that there is a space that you can, reflect, that is to you, and that is more personal, and that is more intimate. That is really going to be important, and you're going to feel the desire for that, and don't let that turn into to grudges, um, and new indulgences, or you holding on to comfortability, you wanting to hold on to something that is presenting itself as comfortability and stay private. You want that break and reflection so that you can recharge to go and tackle the public world, but not to get rid, to get stay away from the public, and stay fixated on what's private. You're gonna have to bring it out into the surface. And then you have Uranus in your motherfucking, the fuck, 10th house. The fuck, I wasn't even talking about that shit. 10th house. How did I get lost on that shit? That's funny. But you have Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house. So this is your career. So your career, or the way you establish practicality within your life, and the what you are known for, is going through change, is really going through change. And the stability of that, the stability of how you're able to establish or create structure and foundation within your life, is going through change. So this is what may be forcing you to hold on to comforts and stuff like that, or maybe showing you the comforts that you want to um establish, the ones that you want to foster. But I'm warning you, be careful with that energy, especially with the double water. Fourth house, we're talking about Cancerian energy. So especially with that water, because that feeling and that state of emotion, it can come quick, and you're going to want to hold on to that. But that's an area that you have to hold space for changeability. You have to hold space for things to flow and be moving. um, so you getting too fixated on it, that's a quick way for that area to become toxic, and for you to develop mentalities that you're going to have to eventually let go of. Um, yeah, so that's how it'll be if you have the new moon hitting you in your fourth house. So if you have the moon transiting through your fifth house, so if you have the moon transiting through your fifth house, then you are getting new desires, and you want to establish new deep connections and new ways of transmuting emotions in regards to entertainment, and how you enjoy yourself, and how you creatively express yourself as an individual. These are the new desires. So, new desire to create, express yourself as an individual. New desire to express yourself in a way. A new desire to have fun in a specific way. Um, Deeply connecting with that childlike aspect of yourself, or with creative expression, or of your identity, and who you are, and how you have fun, and how you see yourself, and how you want to see yourself. This is the area where you're trying to transmute down that energy. So if you have the moon in your fifth house, so that's how that Scorpio energy is going to be hitting you, trying to give death to um, things that you have been entertaining that are no longer serving you. Trying to give death to ways of seeing yourself that no longer fit, emotionally fulfill you, that no longer align with your deepest self. um yeah, all of these things are going to start being exposed, and this is the energy that is going to be, you're going to find yourself hitting it. So how you express yourself and how you have fun and entertain is going to be transformed. And you're gonna have to find ways to transmute these emotions into positive aspects where you know how to manage and mitigate your fun and joy, and know how to maintain enjoyment within these areas. And you're the type of person with Scorpio in the fifth house to get really deep into these things, into your entertainment, into um, to really get deep. Wait a minute, the fifth house. Anyways, but yeah, wanted to get deep with how you have fun, and you often can get carried away with that shit, can go too deep in having fun, and investigating, going behind too far, behind the scenes, and bringing light to areas that should have stayed dark. Not necessarily that should have stayed dark, but you're going deep into your creative expressions and how you want to see yourself, but not in a way that other people can see as well, but in a way where you're in it, in there in yourself. So you don't want to get into that energy. You want um you want to be powerful in your desires, or really be able to go deep into and really get into the depths of fun and enjoyment, and really understand the emotions that you feel when you are in that state of being, when you allow yourself to cut loose, when you allow yourself to express yourself how you naturally feel like expressing yourself, and building some emotional stability within that area is the best thing, is the best seeds that you can be planting for this Scorpio new moon. So that's the fifth house. If you have this new moon going through your sixth house, then you are gaining new desires, wanting to gain new deep connections, and find new ways of transforming and transmuting the energy of your day-to-day schedule, and how you approach things on a daily basis, and your habits, and how you work. And this is your workspace, and this is how you work day in and day out. So having Scorpio, a new moon in Scorpio, you are emotionally responding to the desires that you have for your day-to-day life, and the things that you want to be doing on a day-to-day basis, what you want to have around you on a day-to-day basis, the state of health that you desire to have. You wanted to deeply connect um, with what makes sense. You wanted to deeply connect with practicality and a way of working. You wanted to deeply connect with a routine, and wanting a new routine that will help you transmute and transform negative energy within you. This is where the Scorpio new moon is hitting you in. So it's creating, intensity in your day-to-day situations, and in your workplace, and how you obtain work. It's creating intensity in your diet and your health. Let's showing you, maybe you're gonna get that insight onto what you should stop be eating, or what you should be eating more of. You're gonna get that insight into that's something that you should be adding into your schedule and stuff like that. And that's the state of being that you need to be in to really manifest the most out of this new moon. You have Uranus in your opposite house of Pisces, so the stability of your dreams and your beliefs is making it hard for you to do things on a day-to-day basis, because the value of your dreams or how stable your dreams were, how stable you felt about your dreams and imagination and beliefs, it's going through change, and you're having to rebel and oppose against energies. So it's leaving you. So it could leave you feeling vulnerable and putting your schedule out of whack, and you not knowing how to or what to schedule within your day-to-day basis, because this may be, especially when you're dealing with Pisces, Virgo, 12th house, 6th house type stuff. You may be dealing with not knowing what is real and what is just an emotion, or what doesn't make sense, and what is a pure imagine, or what makes sense and what is purely imagination. So um, you are really deeply connecting and finding new desires for what you're doing on a day-to-day schedule. So how you rectify that Uranus energy, I would say, would to be innovative and in your dreams and imagination, or allowing, and your beliefs, and allowing them to be uh, fluid, understanding how the meaning of value, or that value is placed on the feeling that can be provided. It's really, emotions are the real currency. That's why they're emotions, and we are dealing with currency because it's the motion, the emotion. And that's how that works. So with the new moon hitting you in the sixth house, you may find yourself under a whole new schedule, or desiring a whole new schedule, or really connecting with the new schedule, or a new way of working, a new job. Or you may find yourself having a new habit that you are doing, that is presenting itself day in and day out, a new insecurity that is continuously presenting itself. So you don't want to get swept up under those energies. Emotional security is the goal with Scorpio, with this Scorpio season, emotional maturity. So, yeah, grounding your belief systems and the real world, and what is tangible, and what you can actually feel, is going to help you stay up to date with the changes and the instability of value, of practicality, and how that is changing. And once you deal with it on a tangible level, the things that you can see, dealing with the things that you already have, starting to narrow down what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis, and what you can put in on a day-to-day basis to really allow you to focus and hone in and deeply connect with these things. So that you can manifest abundance, so that you can get rid of that worrying energy, so that you don't manifest worrying. It's more of self-assurance, and these receipts, that these are facts, that you're not worried. This is a fact that because you had, you did all the research for that shit. So that's if you have the moon going through your sixth house. If you have the moon going through your seventh house, then you are getting new desires and trying to deeply connect, and finding new ways of transmuting and transforming your relationships, and how you bring balance and harmony into your life, and how you deal with other people on a one-on-one basis. So you're within your seventh house, you're trying to have deeper relationships. You're trying to have deeper one-on-one conversations with people, and trying to um, understand and see behind the scenes of how you bring balance into your life. This is what you desire. This is the information that you desire. So be open and honest about it. Uranus being in the opposite sign is um, making how you present to yourself into the world unstable and going through change. because the values that you present to the world or what's stable and presentable that you want to present to the world is going to be um, unstable, or it's going to be changing, and it's going to be not what it had used to be. So how you present yourself is going to be put in a new way, or you're being forced to present yourself in a new way, or change or rebel how you present yourself, and in the pursuit of stability. So this is going to change on how you interact with people on a one-on-one basis in your relationships, because how you're presenting yourself is going to change your relationship. This is the energy of people talking about, oh, you switched up, or you're not the same person, or and stuff like that, or you shedding new people, new relationships, and stepping into deeper ones, or getting rid of, or the ones that weren't real and dense falling behind, and the ones that were real are starting to shine golden and starting to really make themselves known, and it's undeniable that this is a deep connection that you have. Be careful of that negative energy inside of that, because this can be new insecurities you have in your relationships, and being insecure of talking about certain things, and doing certain things around people, um having building new grudges in your relationships, based off of how not being able to bring harmony in a specific way, or a person not responding to you in a way that you want to, or a person poking at your vulnerabilities, poking at your insecurities, will instantly create a grudge, and anger towards that person, a new relationship that you now have with, now it's an enemy, now it's sour, and now you guys aren't friends anymore, and shit like that, and now it's a new connection that you had just deepened. And so make sure you're not on that side of the energy, and that you are manifesting desires that benefit you, and that you are giving death to the mentalities that are preventing you from deepening your relationships, from deepening and allowing you to start the conversation, and make things harmonious in your relationships, for you to be able to be your raw, authentic self, with the people that you talk to, or within your social group. And yeah, with the moon in the seventh house. If you have this new moon going on in your eighth house, then you're having new desires, new deep connections, a new way of transmuting emotions, and the area of life of your vulnerabilities, the area of life of your secrets, and what you keep behind closed doors, or your true desires of things. So you're coming into a true deep connection and awareness of your emotional states of being, and how your emotional work, your internal clock, and how you work internally, the things that you are kind of scared for people to see, or don't want, or the emotions that you treasure, the emotions that you really want to hold on to, and that you fixate on. This is where the new moon is going to be hitting you in. You're going to really dive deeper into your insecurities, into your vulnerabilities, and trying to transmute them. You're making new deep connections with your emotions, and how you feel about things, and really anchoring in onto these emotions. This is a really volatile, not volatile, but powerful house to have all of this going on in, because it's really going to help you hold on to emotions. So be careful to not hold on to some bullshit. Be careful to not hold on to a grudge. Be careful to not hold on to an old insecurity. Be careful to not hold on to the feeling of vulnerability. Hold on to these new desire, giving death to the mentalities that prevent you from desiring earnestly, that prevent you from having the type of deep connections that you want to have. Uranus being in the opposite house, what were we talking about? Uranus being in the second house in Taurus, then you have the things that you have in your possessions are kind of unstable, and how you work, or your value, or the energy that you're able to output um, is going through change. The way you work, the way you have to go about gaining practicality is going under a complete change, and you're going to have to find new ways to and innovate and change and rebel and repose to find new ways to bring stability within your life, which may be taking you away from this deep connection, or holding on, or may be um, causing you to hold on to insecurities because of the changes in your physical possessions. So it may be triggering certain insecurities and trying to prove them right. With the lack of stability, making you feel that you're losing your emotional stability as well. Or um, actually doing, not making it look like, but it actually happening. But once you understand that your emotional state of being reigns supreme, and that the physical things that you actually have, your possessions, your money, your finances, really are only valuable based on how they make you feel. That's why the moon is exalted in Taurus. Um, um, it's all based off of how you feel. So, you really understanding your emotional world and really deepening your connections with your deepest part, with the deep part of yourself, you going in within your depths and understand, or seeing your emotions, being in there and sitting in it. The understanding is not necessarily a given or automatic, but you being within that realm is going to give you the understanding. But you're gonna have to allow yourself to sit within that state of being. So yeah, with the new moon going on in your eighth house, um, um, yeah, it's the areas that you necessarily don't necessarily want to show to other people, or what you consider precious, and an emotional state of being that you don't want to be taken out of, a feeling that you want to hold on to. This is what the new moon is going to be showing and revealing to you, and giving you the opportunity to bring more of this within your life, or for you to you can also push it further away. So yeah, it's new moon in the eighth house. If you have this new moon traveling through your ninth house, then you are having new desires for new experiences. You are deeply connecting to new experiences that you have had. Finding new ways to connect, or to even look at going deeper into your experiences, and starting to see the behind the scenes of the things that you have went through, and your moral system, and how you direct your belief. You're starting to see the behind the scenes of this, and how you want to experience. You're trying to transform and give death to the ways that you go about, or the experiences that you had that didn't serve you, or the things that you are experiencing, or are expanding in, and are building wisdom and knowledge into, that don't align with your core desires. You're going to be needing to be giving death to these things. And this is what the new moon is going to be presenting to you. Um, it's going to be giving you the opportunity, or it's intensifying your experiences, really letting you know that this experience is either on some bullshit, this is something that you need to experience and go through, or this is something that is only adding more toxicity into your life, or it's experience that you don't need to know. Yes, experience builds knowledge and wisdom, but you don't need to experience everything. You don't need to be wise about everything. You need street smarts for sure, but you don't need street smarts about everything. I don't need to know what certain shit is like, you don't need to know everything within that regard. So it's where you direct your faith, your belief, your morality. This is what you're really gonna find a deeper connection with. And you can also really fixate on a way you have felt based off an experience, or wisdom that you had obtained through an experience that you had went through, and really holding on to the state of being that had put you in, and holding grudges that way, and have making that experience make you feel vulnerable and insecure, instead of, you know, connecting with that experience and seeing behind the scenes of how that all played out, and what led to it, and what desire was playing on in the background, and what you truly want to manifest. Be within that state of being, and then all the manifestation powers of the moon is yours. So you have that Uranus in the opposite house of the third house. So it's your surroundings that is unstable. It's your surroundings that are unchanging. The value and practicality of your surroundings and your friends, and everything that is close to you, your friends, neighbors, and just your general surroundings. So that may be hard because those things are unstable. So it's the experiences that you that you're trying to jump into. It's kind of hard to mitigate these things. But if you really seen behind the scenes, and you not getting lost in the image, but it's about the wisdom and experience that you have went through, then you'll be all right. Then you'll be able to see behind the scenes of the right things, or you'll go deep into the right things, and you won't they won't become insecurities, but you'll gain emotional stability from this awareness that you had gained, and not more insecurity. So yeah, if you have this new moon going through your 10th house, then you are gaining new desires for your career, and how you put a foundation for yourself. A new desire for a new job, new desire to be seen in a different way, to have a new status. You want to connect with a new foundation, and you want to find ways of transmuting the emotions um, of how you move on the public stage, or how people see you. You want to give death to the things that prevent you from standing in your authenticity and presenting yourself in the way that you need to present yourself to the world. The way you present yourself to the world is very intense, or your career is going to be very intense, and requiring you to hold on to emotions, or that's how you best create a foundation for yourself within this reality, with Scorpio in your 10th house. And the new moon here is going to bring new desires for new statuses, new desires for new positions of authorities, new desires for you to claim or achieve something for yourself, a new desire to achieve something and maintain something and build something for yourself. Really connecting, deeper connecting with the building process, and the bringing things into being. Um, with the Uranus in the opposite house of Cancer, what is unstable and going through change is your comforts, and your private life, and what's behind closed doors. So the stability and the practicality of what's going on in the home is going through a change. So how you maintain stability within the home is going through some change. So this is affecting your career. This is affecting your public life. So the best way to transmute this energy, I would say, is to sense what you're supposed to be finding new ways to change and rebel and repose your home life, and finding new values, um, um, and sense of worth in the home. Finding new, since you're finding new ways and changing, rebelling against that. Allow you're kind of allowing yourself to become more, not even cutthroat, but more okay with change, more okay to handle things, or more okay to be serious, more okay to roll your sleeves up and handle the things that need to get done, more for you to look at and dive deeply into what you are trying to achieve, into your goals, into creating foundation for yourself, and for you to become absorbed, for you to become obsessed, um, um, for you to really genuinely deeply connect with your job, with your status and position, with your responsibilities is also in your 10th house. So desire for new responsibilities. There's different things that you want to have on your shoulders, and once you have those things under your shoulders, that's what you lift up. You don't mind that weight, and you're able to lift that up because it aligns with your real wants, and it's building the foundation for the very platform that you want to present yourself on, for what you want to be known for what you want to be seen for. And you're seeing behind the scenes of how to make foundations. You're seeing behind the scenes of how people perceive you, or how you obtain your status, and how you obtain your practicality. And yeah, really holding on to the states of beings that you were in, to bring that stuff to manifest that stuff. So yeah, that's how the new moon is going to be hitting you if you have it traveling through the 10th house. It's going to be creating new desires for your career. It's going to be creating new desires for you to be seen different on a public level. It's going to be creating new desires for you to build something for yourself to call your own. Create you new responsibilities that you are going to have to uphold, that are more in line with your authentic self, if you're on the right side of the energies. Or it can manifest new insecurities in how people see you in the public, making you feel more vulnerable, and more serious, more dry. You withdrawing your emotions from the public arena, when you should really be pouring more into it. Let people see your passion. Let people see how deep you're into it, and watch how you start manifesting. So yeah, if you have the moon going through the 11th house of this Scorpio new moon going through your 11th house, then it's a new desire to think and communicate with different people, or to have different associations. A new desire for you to really connect with groups of people, for you to not be for you to be more social, for you to know more. It's a deep desire for you to obtain more knowledge and understanding, whether it be through networking with other people, or for you literally building up and researching this knowledge yourself. You wanted to deeply connect with these institutions, with this knowledge, with this information, and you want to transmute the negative energy of the thoughts that you have, or of the information you have, and turn it into something that where it's working beneficial to you. And this is kind of hard energy to do, or this is a hard thing to pull off, because we're talking about communicating in the mental realm, communicating and pushing things out when Scorpio is about being receptive and receiving. So you are receiving information. So definitely be privy to downloads that you may be getting within this point in time, but it's going to be a desire for you to learn something, a desire for you to fix something, a desire for you to kind of even give up some sense of self. Uh, for a greater cause, a desire for you to be a part of a greater cause, and deeply connect with a greater cause that amounts to a lot more than just you. But with the Uranus being in the opposite sign, how you creatively express yourself and how you have fun is what's unstable. Your how you find entertainment and enjoy yourself, how you creatively express yourself, and how you see yourself is going through the is what's unstable. The practicality and how you see yourself is unstable, and you're finding that you need to change and rebel the way that you have been doing it previously, and finding innovating and finding new ways to creatively express yourself. So this is going to make it hard, because if you don't creatively able to creatively express yourself as an individual, it's going to be hard for you to join a collective, a conglomerate, or a group. If you don't understand yourself as an individual, it's going to be hard for you to disseminate information and take what's best for you, and not become the information or think that it's right, if you don't have a strong sense of self first, or if you don't have freedom for creative expression, if you don't have outlet or breathable air for you to have fun and entertain yourself, um, then you'll run into a lot of those troubles. Uh, yeah. So if you have the new moon going through the 11th house, so you may be starting new associations, meeting new people, networking with new groups of people, and then a desire to do these things as well. And don't let it get into new insecurities based off of based off of a greater cause, based off of social dynamics and stuff like that, based off of how you're able to think and communicate. Um, yeah, don't build up insecurities based off of your social life and all of that. Let that provide you the information of where you should be putting yourself socially. What actual groups of people in institutions is actually working towards your benefit. Seeing behind the scenes of these things, and allowing yourself to or to genuinely want, allowing yourself to want to express, um, to communicate and think in the ways that are natural to you. And yeah, that's how the new moon is going to be hitting you. So yeah, the best seeds to be planting is to be deeply connecting with the with information and communicating out that information, and really amassing and becoming fluent in with whatever you are studying, and really soaking up the knowledge, taking in the downloads, and really dedicating yourself to the greater cause, because it is for the sake of knowledge, for the sake of bettering things, for the sake of having better understanding. That's make sure that you're on that side of the spectrum, and then you'll start manifesting some real shit. Then you'll start manifesting some groups of people that really are like-minded to you, and you start manifesting progress in this cause that you're starting, and you really feel connected and a part of it. So yeah, if you have the moon transiting through your 12th house, this new moon, then you're gonna find a new desire for dreams and imaginations, new desire for you to deeply connect with different dreams and illusions, how you use your imagination. Pisces, we're now diving into a very magical, mystical realm of imagination. Not even just imagination, but of lucidity, of flow, of water, of emotions. And since it's very collective, it's the emotion of the room. It's a vibe. So it's very hard to point out specific things. Um, and the 12th house is representing your subconscious because it's that collective pool. And that collective pool, your emotion, your energy, is where all of those things exist. So you're trying to go deep into your subconscious. You're trying to go deep into your realms. You may be having some wicked ass dreams coming this new moon. That is presenting itself to you. Peep those dreams and peep what they're saying to you. It's trying to show you how to transmute energy. It's trying to show you what you need to deeply connect to and the new desires that you are having. But it's a new desire. You're having a new desire to get rid of or to transmute your subconscious mind. Having the desire to make your subconscious mind and your dreams and directed towards your real wants. You're starting to use your imagination for the things that you really want, not just the emotions that you are find yourself in or are a victim to due to your environment, but the emotions that you had generally wanted to be in, your real wants, and how it feels to be within those states of beings and how to share that with other people. This is what you're experiencing this new moon. So you may be going real deep and feeling and focusing and fixing on it. Emotions that you may not have to even know are there, but they existed within your subconscious. They existed within something. So you may find yourself fixating on something that you may not even really know, or fixating on a certain feeling and emotion, but you may be unaware that it is pointing towards something subconsciously, something that you had let sit, and something that is really speaking towards you, that is real feeling and emotion that you have, but is you're not conscious of it. You're not there's not light there, and you're not bringing light to there. So with the sun and moon, with the sun, your flashlight, and your esoteric GPS, the moon, all in Scorpio, we're bringing light and awareness and emotional awareness to these dark spaces. So really use this energy. And it's going to make clear what is in your subconscious, how you subconsciously planted it there, and how you can transmute that energy and make it work for you. Planting new things into your subconscious, new desires into your subconscious, new things within those depths, so that you can start manifesting your dreams. So you can take out the toxic aspects of your dreams. So you can start being insecure and vulnerable about your dreams and imaginations and be using them to create all these bad, negative type situations and scenarios. And you're starting to use them to create the scenarios and imagining the things that you want, your real desires, and how you transmute those negative emotions into positive emotions. And that's the energy and state of being that you need to be in with this new moon. And then once you start doing that, well, now your subconscious is yours. Now your imagination is yours, and you get to shape the world around you based on your desires, and you're going to be real honest about that. And if anybody's calling you, and that's when you start using that power to your benefit. Now you can go too far and get in la la land and start dealing with things that aren't really there, and with things getting tricky that way. But a little delusion is fine as long as you know, as long as you understand what it is and you're able to mitigate it. But you really have all powerful control to choose how you look at things within this realm of reality, and choose how you can feel about things within this realm of reality. And you're gonna come into more understanding of that as you go deeper within the subconscious mind, or have that exposed to you. And yeah, that's the Scorpio New Moon for all that through all the houses. I hope it aligning y'all. Peace out.